Leetcode question 206, reverse linked list, and it's an easy Leetcode question. So give head of linked list, reverse the list, and return the reversed list. So basically, they give you a linked list of 1.22, 2.23, 3.45, and you want to return 54321. Everything is reversed, and they give you 1 to 2, and you want to return 2 to 1, right? So basically, how you do this, there's another example is if the head is empty, then the output is returned empty. There's some constraints here. And here are the company asked this question the past 6 months, and it's an easy question, but it's a question that you must know how to do this. And I'm gonna show you 2 different ways how to solve this. And let's start with the recursive way. So basically, I'm just gonna use an example as 1 to 2 as an example, and then a linked list like this is in the 1.22, 2.2, the end of the linked list is no, right? So then what we actually wanted to do is one is the head, and I'm gonna call the recursive function. When I do it recursively, I want to call the function reverse list on the head.next, basically on the 2, right? Basically that is the next one, and that is the when I call the recursive function on this guy that is the new head, basically, because there's nothing after that. So what the recursive function does is it pointing to 2's next back to 1. And then it pointing to 1's next to no. That is 0. Do you get it? It basically, the first one is pointing to 2 to 1, and then 1 to no. And then you return the 2 as the new head. Then you reverse the list. And I'm going to repeat to explain this to you again while I show you how to do this in code. Basically, if not head, you want to rule out some edge cases or head.next. If they are no, right, you want to return the head. Basically, you are returning no in this case. And like I mentioned, when you do the recursive call, is basically new head equals to you're calling the reverse list function on the head.next, right? Basically, you calling this function on 2. Remember I said head, you want to pointing 2's next to the head. So basically 2 to 1, right? So basically that is head.next. Head.next is basically 2 right now, right? So head.next is next. Basically 2's next is pointing to 1. 2's next is next. Oh, sorry. 1's next. Basically head's next. The next is 2's next is pointing to the head. I know it sounds like a tongue twister, but I'm really trying to explain this to you. And then the next step, I'm gonna pointing 1 to no, and head.next. And since I'm pointing to 2 to 1 already, and 1's next has to be set to no because that's the end of the list, right? And then this way, you already recursively reverse the linked list. In this case, you return a new head, and that's it. That's all the code. If you think about it, I know it's a little bit confusing, but all you did in this recursive function is that you calling recursive function on this guy, and what does the recursive function do? All it does is pointing to's next pointer, basically remove this one to pointing to 1. And then 1, let me do it this way. I think you will understand better. You basically pointing to's next to 1. And then you pointing head.next to no. So basically you pointing to 1's next to no. So this way, when you print the linked list, it's 2 to 1. You recursively reverse the list. So then I'm going to show you how to do this iteratively. So let's say the list is 1 to 2. Again, we're using the same example, right? So I'm going to, for the iterative solution, the best is to have a 2 pointer, and I'm going to have a pre-pointer, and I'm also going to have a current pointer. So the current pointer is currently pointing to the head. Basically, that is the 1 here. I'm pointing to the head. And how am I going to reverse is basically I want to make sure the head next is pointing to the node, right? I want to make sure 1 is pointing to the node so that I reverse the list. And then I'm going to shift the pre to the 1 position and current to the 2 position. And I'm going to continue to reverse the list so that the entire list will get reversed. So let me show you how to do this one more time. And basically what you do is you want to pointing to 1, once, next to no, and then you want to shift pre to 1 and a current to 2, and then you're going to continue go on with this list so that this linked list will get reversed, and this link is broken between here because you pointed once next to 1, and then but you have to, because the linked list is broken in this case, you have to save 2 before you move the pointer here. You have to save that 2 as a to the temp. So when you save 2 to the temp, when you shift the pointer, the current will be shifting to the right position. And I'll show you how to do this in code. I think you will understand better. So I want to set 2 pointer. A lot of linked list questions will be solved by the 2 pointer. So it's a really, really good technique that you need to remember how to do it. And the pre and the current is set to no, right? And then the current is in the head position. While current exists, I'm going to continue to shift the pointer. So originally, right, the list looked like this. Before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the 2 position, basically the temp value. Current next, I'm going to save this to temp. So when I shift the pointer, I will be shifting to the right position. Otherwise, the value will get messed up. So current.next, I'm going to set once. Next, I'm going to pointing to pre. So basically, it's this way. I'm shifting that, right? So this is broken already. And then I'm going to shift pre to current. And then I'm going to shift current to, it's current.next. It was current.next, but then since I saved the to temp, so then current has to equal to next. So originally it's next, right? And then if I'm continuously to do this right now, I have like this, and if I shift two's next to the previous value, basically 2.21 look like this, and I'm gonna shift the pref to the 2 position, and then current to the no position. And then when I reach to the end of the list, the new head is at 2. Basically, that is the pref, and then that is the new head. And that's the value I'm going to return, and the current is to the end. That's why the 2 pointer technique is so useful because you can then just return the pref. In this case, that is the new head. Let's see. If you think this is helpful, please like my video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you with more Leetcode questions. Bye bye.